What's up, guys? It's time for another Beyond the Field InstaLive. Hope everyone's doing well, safe and sound. We seem to be approaching what is somewhat the end of this lockdown. I hope we are. I hope everyone's keeping well. And what plans for the weekend? If there is like a different weekend and weekday scene at the moment. Kanika Mathur says, hey, really enjoying your life. Thank you, Kanika. It's been fun. Well, I must say, I don't mind just going back to normal and going back to work now. But never thought I'd say that, but anyway. So Dan Vettori is going to be on soon. Another technological dinosaur. Doesn't do social media, doesn't do Twitter, Insta, etc. Mrinal looking sharp. Thank you, Mrinal. Who is your guest today? Our guest is Daniel Vettori. Accomplished former New Zealand cricketer, captain. 120 tests or something. Plenty of accolades. He's even got some sort of civil honor in New Zealand, which is pretty cool. He's good. He's great, actually. So yeah, Dan Vettori will be joining us in a bit. Anuj says, remembering the good old Cascade days. Yeah, well, that's one of the things that'll be nice to have back again. I mean, I don't know when you're going to get a school public gathering up and running, but yeah, true. Shubhansh, your favorite cricketer growing up? Rahul Dravid. It's easy, isn't it? I'm not going to say Tendulkar after Rahul inaugurated my InstaLives. Just Shah, awaiting Tuesday cricket nights. Yeah, man. Bats are still around. Right there. So, why not? Do let Vettori know that some of us genuinely loved him as a cricketer purely for his glasses. Yeah, sure. I'll let him know. He's going to be on too. The guest is Daniel Vettori, Swedish, for those of you that are not following the posts that I did put out. Any update about the IPL, sir, asks Jamuna Shetty. Honestly, no, because it's been deferred indefinitely. I think we're all going to wait and see if the T20 World Cup happens as scheduled. Australia is pretty good, actually. It's not been so bad. So if they do somehow find a way to play the T20 World Cup, then the IPL has no window until next year. If they don't play, then you never know. Harshali says, advertise this more, dude. Harshal, I think, not Harshali, or one of the two. I can't tell from your name. The show's great. Thank you, man. You advertise it. That's all I can say. Many of my female friends used to watch cricket just to see you. Yeah, Ravdeep, that's a thing that we all have for Dan Vettori, actually. I know a lot of females that just grew up having this crush on Dan. Interesting actually to ask him. The World Cup catch at third man. Yeah, it was fun actually because we didn't expect him to do that. That World Cup. Brilliant pluck from the air, wasn't it, from Dan? Rahul Dravid's episode still the best, hands down, says Morgan. I think you're being a bit harsh on some of the others, man. It was great because of how extraordinary it was. And how great Rahul was in spite of all the things that were falling apart around him. It sums Rahul up, right? You could have 9 wickets fall at the other end, chaos and whatnot, and Dravid just held his ground. Rashmin doing a top job. Thanks, Rashmin. I hope you're well, man. They've relaxed the dress code for the lawyers, haven't they? I read something recently. The Bar Council has relaxed the coats and the collars and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. You could just wear what you want now, I hope. It's Harshal Patil. Sorry, Harshal. My bad. Anyway, speaking of Rahul Dravid's InstaLive, it's again that same handle that I had made for those that aren't on social media, which didn't work perfectly for Rahul. At least we got his audio. It worked brilliantly for Mikey in the Cayman Islands, for Chappelli in Sydney, for Daryl Cullen in Johannesburg, and today we'll find out if it works in Auckland. So this handle is the only thing that's travelled in the last 2 months. So Jitesh says his aggression after winning the ODI series in England, being captain. Yeah, he had a different kind of aggression. Dan Vettori, a lot like Rahul actually. So good guys, different ways to show their emotions. Game can do with some of these actually. More Doug Walter stories. There's like a bank of Doug Walter stories from Ian Chappell. All you need to do is just Google any Ian Chappell video, you'll find it. There are good ones even on the show he did, on the chat he did with me. So feel free, jump in whenever. Swedish, thank you, Raunak. Question for Dan. Psychological advantage of Gilchrist in Test cricket. He has said he was one of the hardest batsmen to bowl to. Gilchrist, that's not bad actually. Adam Gilchrist. So he could have been the hardest batsman to bowl to for quite a few bowlers. But yeah, that's a nice question. Sharang asked Dan if he's 4 left-arm spinners bowling around the wicket into the rough of the right. I think you mean over the wicket, buddy. Negative bowling, right? He didn't need to do that much. He used to get wickets the normal way. Yeah, if you compare him to Ashley Giles, then yeah, maybe Ashley needed to do that more often. But he was just following instructions. All great guys, and all these guys have had wonderful cricket careers, whichever way you look at it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And like I said to Deep on his show that you just need to be a great guy to be on this, man. It doesn't matter otherwise. Why didn't you retain Rahul for RCB? Yeah, there are a lot of RCB questions actually. Dan's been such a strong association with RCB. So there are plenty of those questions. I don't think New Zealand always chokes against Australia, Saurabh, even though that's what you're saying. Yeah, the 2015 World Cup final was unfortunate. They did beat them in the group stage in the same tournament. Cracking game. So yeah, let me just send Dan a text that I am ready. So he's going to be figuring this out for the first time. So let's hope he gets this right. Otherwise we can relive the Rahul Dravid episode, which all of you have been missing. Hello to Ushma. Has a good friend of mine, Robin's here as well. If you last for a few minutes, that's nice. If you don't, then I'm saying hi now only. How have New Zealand always had useful lower order batsmen? That's a good question actually. They've always produced these guys, utility cricketers, the guys that hung around even after the top order fell. They still have it till date. Mitch Santner, Colin de Grandhomme. Udupa, is he still having that long beard? Actually, I'm very curious to see that as well. I'm very, very curious to see that. He grew this massive beard a few months back when he was working with Bangladesh as their spin consultant. When will RCB win a trophy? Yeah, lol. That's something we should ask him, shouldn't we? He came close. He led RCB to an IPL final. Won back in 2010. If I got that right. Was it 10? No, 10 was Mumbai when they lost. It's probably 11. Is there a connect between Vettori and Harry Potter? He said this on a show we did actually, that ever since Harry Potter existed, he's been getting those references. So, who wants a window view? No, that's not going to happen, boss. My bed is very messy right now, so I'm hoping Dan just jumps onto this show, on this chat with smoothly, no trouble at all. Jameson, new edition. Yeah, he's got a central contract now. Kyle Jameson. I forgot I should put the pinned comment. Alright, he'll be in a minute, so that should be fun. Did he ever apply for the position of India's head coach? Asks Karan Kakkar. That's pretty good. We can ask him. I don't think that's the sort of job he wants actually, but I'll ask him. You never know. New Zealanders have done well, haven't they? With India, John Wright did very well. So you never know. He's got the temperament, you should certainly say. Did he enjoy his stint with BCB? Asks Akshay. I think it's still an ongoing thing, and he's not done much work with them. But yeah, it'd be nice to know what his experience is like. Bangladesh produce left-arm spinners for fun, so it's like every household has one. So why not? I think there's plenty of work for him to do. Yeah, Sweetish, the beard is going to come up. So do me a favor and just put these questions again when Dan comes on. I already have a lot of questions that I've taken from those that posted on Twitter and on Insta in the build-up to this, and I sort of give that preference, because it's always easier to then consolidate these questions. So that's the tip for you. If you want your question asked, best chances to put it through in the posts that I put out in the build-up to the live. Sometimes I'll watch the live video, but you know how it is. It just keeps going up faster than I can handle. He's keeping us waiting, isn't he? Ask him if he's writing his autobiography about his cricketing and life experience. If so, any significant revelations? He's not that kind of guy, but again, it's a good question. This time is always one for people to reflect on what they want to do, and a lot of books tend to come out when you're in lockdown mode or in perspective of what's happened in your life. So why not? He did well in the subcontinent, and Vettori preferred playing in the subcontinent as Sharang, more spin-friendly conditions. Swedish is being very kind. You're doing a good job. He's giving me a hug. Hug to you, man. Virtual hugs is all we can do now. No touching for a while. But right back at you, my friend. I hope you're doing very well. And thank you for your kind words. So yeah, assuming Dan's figured this out. He downloaded Instagram just this morning. Ah, there he is. He's here. So let's hope this works. Okay. Okay, Dan, you're watching me. I know I'm going to send you. Just accept it now. Let's see if you've managed to figure this out. Hopefully this should work. Oh, there you are.
Hey, mate, how you going?
I'm good. I think you might need to turn that phone around to make sure I see you straight and not the other way around. Oh, well done. Oh, yeah, it's fancy. I know you're a fancy man, mate. Yeah.
I'll just hold it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
This is only lasting 2 minutes, isn't it? So I can just hold it.
I intend on keeping you longer, but first and foremost, you've got rid of that bloody beard of yours. Thank God for that.
A couple of days, it'll be back.
How you doing, Dan? Good to have you.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. We're in lockdown. We're not enjoying, strolls on golf courses like you are. So simple life, mate. It's a challenging life for us.
Our life has changed. Our life has changed. Level 2 our version of level 2 started today. So we're back to normal with a bit of no mass gatherings and social distancing.
You've got a rock star of a prime minister. I mean, everybody wants her. She's just perfect for New Zealand. She says the right things, does the right things, and you guys are out of this. I mean, we do well with her.
Yeah, we're very lucky. I mean, we're small. I think small and very sparsely populated. I think that helps us a lot.
Yeah, everyone doing well though at home. Kids and wife all fine.
Yeah, they're right. They need to go back to school, but apart from that, everything's fine.
Yeah, I know. I could see that.
Monday. They go back Monday, so that's good.
All right, and I must express my appreciation. You're another dinosaur. You don't do social media. You don't do Twitter. You don't do Instagram. Thank God you're on WhatsApp at least, so you're one step better than Rahul. What's your problem with social media? What's it ever done to you?
I'm just trying to give a appropriate answer, not relay my real feelings to it. No, as my wife says, I'm on my phone enough. So imagine if I was on social media as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could delete the app. It's a very seductive app, Instagram. When I got Chappelli in the same way that I got you, I'd send him the login, and he was all over the place. Chappelli, you could imagine, he was banging both hands onto the screen and then going, I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her. I said, Chappelli, what are you looking at? I don't think you've got the right app. So be careful. But anyway, what's the lockdown been like for you? Have you learned anything new? Have you figured out something about yourself that you didn't know already?
No, it's been very fortunate. We were by the sea. We had a lot of space to roam, so we're very fortunate. So the lockdown was relatively easy for us. I mean, the future's a little bit different, but the actual lockdown was relatively sedate, and we learned how to be online teachers and look after kids. But look, I mean, I've travelled so much through the kids' lives that to actually stay put for an extended period of time, I think they enjoyed it for a while. I'm not sure if they enjoyed it the whole time.
You think they're ready to go back?
Yeah. It's hard to compare lockdowns, I suppose. We're
sure.
As I said earlier, we're very fortunate, and a lot of people going through some tough times.
So the way this works is we do this live, and there are comments that come while it's live. Most of them are actually rubbish. Some of them are decent. So I try and pull those out for you. But the one general trend is, and I think you've got a lot of this before, there are people that do not follow cricket, not even watch the IPL. Many females that do that. And yet, when you mention Dan Vettori, there's this little old crush, this teenage crush or high school crush that comes to mind. Did you ever get that, or was that just an Indian thing? When you played and whatnot.
My fan base has always been sort of grandmothers, and Yeah. So
How do
I
you
felt the
how do
love.
you know,
I felt the love from a lot of grandmothers. Sort
how
of
do you know that? I
late
mean, you're not
late
you
50s, late
don't.
60s. I get a certain reaction from grandmothers.
Oh God, Dan, don't do that.
I haven't experienced the other, but I definitely know that I've been popular with the sort of. I think because you start so young, grandmothers, elderly mothers, they want to mother me. So
Yeah,
that's. I think that's where the affinity came from.
you've changed the tone of this conversation completely. I can't even carry on with it now. Yeah, well done. Uh, the other thing that tends to be the hit with you is you're the first man that seemed to have made glasses sexy, shall I say, through the 90s. Otherwise, the only other impression that I can think of glasses with cricket, you go back to Clive Lloyd. I can think of grandmothers liking Clive Lloyd. I don't see that
Yeah,
association with you. But
which I think about
funny enough,
Dirk Willem, Wall.
Dirk, yeah,
There
yeah,
will be a few
yeah.
others. Yeah.
Sehwag when he was approaching his late 30s, which was actually for a large part of his career. But anyway, um, but your glasses have actually gotten older in fashion. You had trendier glasses when you started, and I look at that. That's a grandmother's glass. I mean, maybe that's why they like you.
I think, yeah, I look back on some of my looks as an 18, 19, 20-year-old and
Yeah.
question my decisions. So, like most people, I don't think anyone comes out of that age going, "Great work, you did a great job." I think I'm the same as most people. So, yeah,
Did you?
these guys, I think I've got better.
Right. Let's. Your internet's a bit dodgy, mate. Dan. So we'll wait to reconnect with Dan. Shouldn't be too long. Are you back with me? Oh, there you
No, I
are.
got you. Okay.
Your internet was
Right.
all over the place there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
me or you?
Your internet was all over the place. Bloody first world countries, tell you, don't have decent Wi-Fi. Yeah, yeah, but
I'll
anyway.
pass that on to the Prime Minister.
I was amazed with the series of questions that came for you from a cricket front when I did put the post out. Pretty much about 5 or 6 people, Ravdeep, Sharvil, Srijit, HRS, everyone wants to go back to the incident with Paul Collingwood. And there are, of course, two
Oh, yeah.
incidents to it. But I'm amazed that's the first. I mean, I have many memories of you, but somehow, yeah, that had escaped me. And then we go back to the saga where, of course, Collingwood had first chosen to not withdraw an appeal against Grant Elliott with the incident of the run out when he clanged into Ryan sideboard him. And then in the Champions Trophy, when you decided to withdraw your appeal against Paul Collingwood, and there was a case for him to be dismissed, and he was actually given out. So, what was that harder to do because it was Paul Collingwood, or was it an easy call?
No, I think of the first occasion. I think it was there's a lot of emotion. I can't remember being that emotional my whole life. Just seeing the incident unfold and the amount of time. I think
That's
we
the
watched it
first one
going
or the
back.
second one? At the Oval or
First one,
in the right,
the
right.
first one. Sorry, the run
Yeah,
out with
yeah.
Elliott
Grant
and
Elliott.
side
Yeah,
bottom collision, and just thinking, I think this will play out. The umpires are speaking. This will work, and you could just sort of feel the tension in our room going. You could just see it building, and then because the balconies at the Oval are so close, you cast a glance to Andy Flower and the rest of their support staff, and you guys better do the right thing. And
yeah.
it was a long time. I mean, it felt a long time. And anyway, then when the actual decision happened, obviously the dressing room was pretty furious.
Right.
And then the game got away from us, and we thought we'd lost it. And then I think we managed
Yeah.
to pull it back in the last little bit. And then Mark Gillespie, who wasn't renowned for his batting,
Yeah.
should have been run out about 3 times, but eventually the 4 overthrows got us through for a victory. And I mean, I've seen the footage, and it's quite embarrassing. But
Yeah.
the emotion was definitely there, and so it carried on for a while. But I think we settled down pretty soon afterwards, and realised we hadn't been in the right, just like England hadn't been in the right with their decision, but we hadn't been in the right with our behaviour. And that was probably going to the second incident where we could catch ourselves and actually remedy the situation. And it wasn't just me then. I remember going into the huddle, and I think Brendan was the main architect, and maybe
Yeah.
Kyle Mills and stuff. That's just not let's not take this. How angry we were when it happened. We can't just try and get them back. So it was a collaborative decision. But once again, we had a lot of time as well. We had so much time to think about it. So if we had 5 seconds, maybe we would have made the wrong decision. But it felt like I think we had like 10 minutes to make our mind up. Daryl Harper was an umpire. I think Asad Ralph was another umpire. And they were good in that situation as well. So I look back and I think we were lucky to have that time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was easy that England were 20 for 3 or 20 for 4 at the time. Perhaps that made it a little easier to call him back over there.
Johannesburg, green as anything. I think Grant Alley got 5 wickets. That's how green it was. But then we were in trouble though. I had to bat to chase down 100, so we were, it wasn't an easy game. It was a tough wicket.
Yeah, I like how you say that when you say it like I had to bat, like that's a bad thing. I actually got a lot of questions on that, saying you had a very respectable batting career. You averaged 30 in Test cricket. There's a question that came from Ravdeep, I think it was, who said, when we talk about genuine Test all-rounders, why do we miss out on Dan Vettori? You look back at yourself as a genuine Test all-rounder?
It's funny you say that because I was with friends in the weekend and someone said, "Oh, how many Test sums did you get? 2 or 3?" And I don't think I've answered a question quicker in my life. 6. So I think it's the only thing it's not the only thing I'm proud of, but it is the thing that I'm most proud of. The fact that I could turn around my batting career. I don't mind if people get bowling stats wrong or don't appreciate that I could bowl, but don't get my batting stats wrong.
Yeah, I can see that. A lot of you spin bowlers are very proud of your batting. Shane Warne was very proud of his. He'd still not joke about the 100 that never came. But at least you got 6, so you should be happy about that. I'm just thinking now that you mentioned that game. As well. You got a few 90s.
I've got the 99 that keeps me up at night.
Oh God, there's this trend of late of people. There's nothing to do right now, right? So they mirror old videos of right-hand batsmen as left-handers and they say, "Oh, how good is this?" Right? So they're doing this to Lakshman and say, "Oh, how good was Lakshman as a left-hander?"
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, so I like. No, I'm just saying. You look at Ponting and you say, "How good was Ricky Ponting, a left-hander?" There's this obsession with left-handers being sexy in cricket, and that's a question that Srijit puts. Why is it that more left-arm bowlers and batters? No, I'm not saying that. Why do you think everything's going to lead to a roast? No, but I'm just trying to think of whether it's people like you that made left-handers be more trendy. See, I've changed direction completely with where I was heading.
I appreciate that. I always tell people I model myself on Stephen Fleming and wait for the laughter. So there you go. I don't know. I think, but because it's so easy to pick those elegant players out. I mean, everyone goes to David Gower, the Clive Lloyds, the Brian Lara's. There's because left-handers it feels like everyone's a left-hander now, but when growing up, it felt like maybe 10 to 20% of players were left-handers, but those 10 to 20% were, some of the most, the ones that you wanted to watch. And I think that that sentiment is carried through for forever, really. Not taking away anything from some amazing right-handers, but Sangakkara, Sangakkara is one of those, I think he's the most aesthetically pleasing batsman going round. So, I think it's just carried on. I don't know about left-arm bowlers. Maybe left-arm spinners a little bit. There's that romanticism around them with Beatty, Underwood, those guys. But not so much now. I don't think my bowling was particularly aesthetically pleasing. It was sort of angly and all.
It was all right, especially when we look at what's at stake, what's on show today. It was pretty good in front of that. Yeah.
I'll take that.
There's one that came from Sudeep Singh. I heard Dan could even bat and bowl with both hands. He could bat right-handed and bowl right-handed. Is it true? Is it true?
I can barely pick things up with my right hand, so I'm as left-handed dominant as you'll come across. So I'm all left-handed, nothing else.
What about your golf swing? Lefty?
Oh, beautiful, amazing. People should come and watch that. Rather than cricket. You're left-handed. Everything left-handed. I don't do anything right-handed. Just purely left-handed.
Yeah, so your right foot's literally just a stand on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'll take that. There's this would come up at some point. Take us through how Martha came on. How did Martha come on? What the hell is Martha anyway?
Who?
That's your nickname. You have a nickname, don't you? It's called Martha. Or Martha.
No, never heard that in my life.
Really?
Look at this. I'm
There's a-
on Instagram. Never heard.
I saw there's actually stuff out there. Daniel Vettori, nicknames, Harry Potter and Martha. And I have no idea what Martha was. I couldn't find any literature on it.
Spell it for me.
Martha. Am I pronouncing it wrong?
No, I've never been called Martha. People,
That's-
New Zealanders call me Get, and Australians call me Wiz. So those are my two nicknames that I have. But Martha, I like it. I'll take Martha.
Do you get annoyed with the Harry Potter references, or now are you used to it now? Ever since the Harry Potter was
my children sledge me with that now. So
do they?
They call me Harry Potter. Yeah. They find it immensely funny. So now that they've started reading the books, and sort of my wife tells them that people used to make fun of me and call me Harry Potter, but no, never really worried me. I mean,
yeah, bigger things to worry about. Yeah, sure. You walked into that.
Exactly. Way bigger
you walked
things to
into
worry.
that. Yeah, but you walked into that. You walked into that Harry Potter meme universe again when you did the beard, because you know what happened, right? It went from Harry Potter to Dumbledore.
Yeah.
If you don't like it,
I do predate Harry Potter though, don't I? When did Harry Potter come out? Early 2000s.
yeah, I mean, you predate a lot of things actually, Dan, and that's not to say you're old. But you just started really young.
Social media.
Yeah, I mean, you were what? You were 18. Youngest. You still are the youngest New Zealand player to play Test cricket, aren't you?
Yep. That's correct.
I mean, and you guys actually get your age right when you play. So that's which. No. Anyway, not getting you in any trouble. Or myself. Which takes me. It's a nice segue to IPL questions actually about your time at RCB, and there are many questions that came. But I'm just going to take one, which sums it all up from Rushabh Surana. What does RCB need to do to win an IPL?
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, you think of the times when RCB's been its closest to winning, and it's been because of the bowling attack. And I think of my time with Mitchell Starc there and how influential he was, and Chahal. So the bowling attack to complement, obviously, what Virat and AB do, plus some amazing other batsmen that have been there. They sort of fall behind in the way. So, I mean, Gale's time at RCB is incredible if you look at his numbers, and there's been some good players around him as well.
Sure.
It's so hard to bowl at Chinnaswamy. I don't think we give enough credit to the bowlers there. And the other thing that myself and other coaches talk about is how excited other teams were to come to Chinnaswamy. I mean, Bangalore's a great city, and the pitch, the facilities, everything. You saw teams just be so upbeat when they turned up there that you knew they were ready for the game. You were ready for the contest. They knew they had they had to deal with AB and Virat, but there wasn't excitement. So I think any RCB team is going to live and die by their bowling attack just because of the nature of that Chinnaswamy wicket.
All right. Johns Benny says, "How was your experience working with the young Bangladesh spinners? Is that still an ongoing thing, or are you done with the Bangladesh spin consultancy?
I hope so. I mean, I only did a short period of time with them, and it was very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable for two parts because I really enjoyed the coaching staff there with Russell Domingo and the rest of his team, and the fact that I only had to work with 3 or 4 players, and those were the spinners, and I mean, Bangladesh has been renowned for their spin bowling, and most of them being left arm spinners. So
there are 3 or 4 in each household. How do you get just 3 or 4 in the squad?
It's an easy connection for me, so it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and it took away the stress of being a head coach and trying to do so many different things to actually focus on like Tajul, Mahedi Miraj, we had Bidplop in the T20s, Naeem, who I think is going to be an exceptional off spinner. Sure. So to work with those guys was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I mean, I read somewhere Mortaza stepped down as ODI captain recently, and not retired, just stepped down. And I think the best thing I read about that, and this is why you should be on Twitter, you'll enjoy some of the things that pop up. They said someone saying, "I'm amazed his knees allowed him to step down."
That is very. I saw firsthand the taping on his knees, and I can agree with that sentiment. After
quite something. It's quite something. Yeah. Anyway, but we love Mashrafi. Plus, Dan still needs to get paid in Taka for the rest of his gigs. So no more, nothing against mushroom. Are you charging them in
doesn't this
taka or
pay?
in dollars?
Am I getting paid for this or not?
For this? Yeah, you bet, mate. The minute you get here again, we'll pay you. Let's see when international borders open.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll find a way. You're easy to buy. I'll just get. I'll get you a bottle of sake or something, and that'll do. Did you enjoy the post I wrote about you? I wrote some nice things about
Well,
you.
I did see it. I enjoyed parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I must say this. I've worked with a lot of cricketers, and not all of them are generous because many of them are South African. And therefore, when Dan Vettori came about, generous to a fault. I mean, always took the bill. Didn't you always take the bill, or was that only after a few sakes? Because I remember you'd be a generous man.
I think no. You're just as generous, so I think I felt like we had to reciprocate. You just feel bad if you don't pay the bill.
Yeah, good. See, that's it. That's what separates you guys and the South Africans. Yeah, that's what separates you guys. I'm telling you. Anyway, brilliant. That's a lot of good questions that have come. I'm not going to do a little rapid fire. So this is the last bit that you need to hold your phone steady for. First thing that comes to your mind, you know how the rapid fires work, right? Even if it gets you into trouble, nobody cares. So no one's watching. You ready?
Yeah, sure, go.
Yeah, all right. In fact, before I do that, I completely forgot to bring up Liverpool, which is something I should have brought up.
Champions.
Really? Yeah, if we have a season, that is. What a shame it'll be, though, if we don't. What a shame. My heart would break. Yeah, my heart would break. I wouldn't know what a Liverpool fan would go through. I can't imagine.
I've seen way too many memes of people celebrating Liverpool not winning the championship. So,
all right, hang on for a second. Would you?
That would break me. You going to talk?
No, I'm right here. I just remembered that your rapid fire is. I was so obsessed in trying to get you on Instagram that I didn't put it on my phone, but I got it now. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. If you weren't a cricketer, what do you think you would have been?
I was studying to be a pharmacist, so I hope that never happened.
If you had to pick one Aussie cricketer to spend the lockdown with, who'd you pick?
Andrew McDonald.
That's pretty good. If you had to pick one RCB player, past or present, to spend the lockdown with, who'd you pick?
Tim Southee.
That's clever. One food item you cannot get enough of.
My grandmother's Italian, so Italian food.
You got to think for grandmothers, man, don't you? And I'm saying this in the most clean way possible. Yeah.
She loved
right. Yeah, sure. Best film or web series you've seen of late?
Of late?
Or all time, whatever. First thing comes to your mind.
My favourite movie is Rounders. I love that movie, so I'll put that
in. Okay. Kanpur 99, Auckland 2000, Lords 2008. The test bowling spell you remember most fondly. You could pick one out of this if you want.
They are good ones. I mean, Kanpur, I'd have to check to see exactly what it was, but I think I got Ganguly, Dravid, and Tendulkar in a
Tendulkar, you did, yep.
Shortest space of time. So those Dravid's my hardest bowler I've ever bowled to. Ganguly's one of the best players left arm spin, and Tendulkar's Tendulkar. So those three were pretty special.
Cool, that's pretty good. The result was good as well, so that's a good pick. I think India won that easy, didn't they?
Yeah, we got hammered. Yeah,
Okay, best captain you played under?
Stephen Fleming.
Okay, biggest influence on your cricket career?
Probably Flem as well. I mean, he captained me for so long, 70, 80 tests, so he played a big part. John Bracewell would be another one that had a huge influence as well. Okay,
smartest cricketing brain according to
you? Stephen Fleming would be right up there as well. I mentioned Andrew McDonald before. I think he's been impressive since I've got to know him. There's a few. I mean, there's probably a lot that I don't know, but those two stand out to me.
Okay, who's got the best sense of humor in cricket according to you?
Tim Southee.
Okay, toughest bowler you've ever faced?
Toughest as in I'm scared and I'm worried I'm going to die, or toughest as in that skill level is amazing. He's going to get me.
You can name two. You can name two.
Okay, well, Shane Warne for just I'm not sure what I'm doing, and for fear of life, probably show back there at the Basin Reserve with a Wellington win behind him.
Sure. All right. One batsman you loved bowling to?
Shane Warne. I got him out the most. So.
Yeah, you did. One batsman you hated bowling to.
Dravid.
Okay. One spinner from today's generation that you would have loved to bowl in tandem with.
From today, and that Nathan Lyon. I mean, I was obviously an affinity to finger spinners. Graham Swan's one of my favourite spinners ever to watch, but if a current player, then it would be Nathan Lyon.
All right. If you were at the non-strikers end in the first over of the 2015 World Cup final, what would you say to Brendan after the fourth ball, just before he got out?
I thought he got out the fourth ball, so he was still in. I mean, you could say don't do it, but the reason we got to that final was because of the way Brendan played. So hindsight's a wonderful thing.
All right, complete the following. If Dan Vettori had played the 2019 World Cup final, he would have
been run out at some stage. Would have been that slow.
You ever come to think that maybe you owed England 4 overthrows? Now that I go back to that game with Mark Gillespie and the overthrows, and then you come back and England felt that they were due a few. No, I shouldn't. Okay, I shouldn't. I won't.
That's cruel.
That's very cruel. Sorry. If you were named owner of RCB, your first decision would be to?
Oh wow, that's a great question. Buy Mitchell Stark at the auction.
Sure. All right. If you were made manager of Liverpool, your first decision would be to?
Celebrate the win. Hold the trophy up.
Yeah, sure. In an empty Anfield, that'll be fun. Oh, great atmosphere.
just be happy for us. Just be happy.
Sure, mate. I'm very happy for you. You're the one good thing about Liverpool, to be honest. Right. All right. Time to pick. As captain, McCullum or Fleming?
Oh, I mean, that's too tough. I mean, the fact that I played under Flem so long, I'd pick him. But Brendan was so amazing for such a long period of time. So for that period of time, so
all right.
That's a horrible question.
No problem. Fair enough. Sure. Cheers. Eden Park or Lords?
Lords.
Smith or Kohli?
Kohli.
Bangalore or Bengaluru?
I got to Bengaluru by the end.
Playing in the IPL or playing in the BBL?
IPL.
Coaching in the IPL or coaching in the BBL?
IPL.
Okay. What's likelier to happen first? And I'm giving you 4 things, right? So remember them. And you tell me what's going to happen first, second, third, and fourth. RCB
Liverpool
winning
first.
the IPL. Yeah, Liverpool winning the league. I was going to say unbeaten. So Liverpool going through a season unbeaten, because that's the real deal now. I mean, everyone wins the league every now and then. So I'll come back to it. Liverpool winning the league unbeaten. RCB winning the IPL. New Zealand winning the World Cup. And the vaccine to COVID-19 being discovered. So what's going to happen first, second, third, and fourth?
So, T20 World Cup, does that count?
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, it's Liverpool, obviously, because they've already won it, so that's a given. Who knows when the IPL is going to happen? Let's go with New Zealand.
All right, got it. You're not optimistic of a vaccine being found, are you?
No, I think New Zealand might be in their bubble for a while.
Okay, very quickly, beard or no beard?
Beard. But my wife's in the background. She might say, she'd definitely say no beard.
You don't listen to her?
Well, you can see I'm just relatively clean shaven at the moment.
Yeah. Ask her to ring up the grandmother. Otherwise, you listen to her, right? You'll be out there in a minute. Yeah. Right, beer or wine?
Wine.
Okay, white or red?
Tough question. Huh? That's the hardest question so far.
I knew you'd say wine, so the next one's ready. White or red?
Red.
Okay. Touring England or touring the subcontinent, what was more fun?
They're both fun. I think touring England first, but as I got older, touring the subcontinent.
Okay. First thing that comes to mind when I say the 2015 World Cup.
Best time I've had on a cricket field.
Okay. The 2019 World Cup.
Worst time I've had as a pundit for Cricket Info.
Oh, mate, that's a shame. You were actually fine. I'm going to stop this for just a second to say you were so calm through the entire thing and then the overthrows happened, right? And then you just got off. You were like on your phone. You are a lot on your phone now that I think of it. Put your feet up on the couch, and you're like, fine, they'll get there. And suddenly that happens, and then you just jumped up and you just went no, and you did say that you're just feeling sorry for them. It was one of those things. But
Yeah,
is that
I think if you're in cricket dressing rooms, I reckon once, well, not maybe once a tour, but once in a while, the question is, would you take the 4 overthrows if it hits you, or would you run the overthrows in a World Cup final? And everyone's like, maybe, yeah. I think you'd have to. And this scenario sort of played out, and fortunately for Stokes, I don't think he would have ever run them. He seemed genuinely contrite when it happened. Sure. But it's just a horrible situation to be put in, and you saw it all play out in front of us.
Yep. All right, going back to it. First thing that comes to mind when I say Virat Kohli.
One of the greats.
The IPL.
I would say my first thing would say it's changed a lot from when it first started.
Okay. RCB.
Special memories.
Harry Potter references.
I was fine with it till I got sledged by my children.
Cricket info.
Good fun.
All right, and lastly, me.
I just cut out. What'd you say?
I said, careful, boy.
No, we're mates. It's the kindest thing I can say. Okay,
that is true. Yep. Cheers, mate. I like that, Dan. That was pretty good. I think you were very good for the otherwise. That's the thing about you, right? You might look at you and you think, nah, he doesn't fancy too many words. He's not one of those. He's not the Danny Morrison school of New Zealand, right? I guess nobody is, but
no,
you're sharp.
Kind of a kind.
Yeah, true. But you did well. I think you did very well. That was smooth. That was.
You need to explain to me what all the hearts floating across my face are. And
it's all the grandmothers that are watching right now, man. It's because it's not for me.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
And now I can see what are the chances of Jack Leach's new Vettori.
Right, you're getting a hang for this, right? Yeah, you can. Yeah, there are plenty of comments that keep coming. Now stop indulging in one because you'll have to indulge in all of them. But yeah, cricket conversation on Cricket Info. This was just for some fun. Although there was a Jack Leach reference on whether someone did ask me this, and I don't remember who it was, on whether your glasses used to steam up under pressure as well, the way Jack Leach claims his did.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, but I mean, pressure is just sweaty. So, I definitely. I remember facing a couple of balls with them steamed up, and I'm like, "What am I doing?" But
did you? Yeah. Are you seeing who just commented? Ian O'Brien's watching us. IOB says it's just me, Dan. Those hearts are from me.
Hi, Ob. Has he made it back to England? I hope he's made it back to England.
He has made it back to England. Yeah, and he's going to be on. He's going to be on next week. I'm going to get in touch with you, Obi, for that. I've got to keep the level up now with the Kiwis that I get. So Dan set the bar, and Obi should be there as well. All right, Dan, this has been brilliant, mate. Good catching up. Did you enjoy your Instagram debut?
I did. I'm going to go and delete the app now.
You take care, mate. We'll catch up soon. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry I couldn't get all your questions, and some of them were really good. But like I said, it's a nightmare sometimes to scan through these questions. They go up so quickly. More coming up over the weekend as well as next week. Brad Hodge is going to be on Sunday, so he's great fun too. So I'll put the post up by tomorrow and send in your questions, and I hope to see you for that InstaLive. And it was great fun with Dan Vettori. He's easy to like, isn't he? He's just really good. Full episode will be up on YouTube tonight for whoever wants to catch it again or whoever might have missed it. And again, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys for the next one. Take care, stay safe, take care of your families as well.